Hello, hello, good morning. If you're watching this part of the video, you're watching the replay. So make sure to use hashtag replay so I can thank you so much for watching. If you want to be notified anytime I go live, all you have to do, press down on my face, hit follow, ring the bell. And if another brand ambassador shared this video with you, please make sure you go back and you shop with her. For those of you new here, welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I work full-time. I love makeup and skincare. And I truly believe every single woman wants to look and feel her best. And I have the tools and the resources to help you get there. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips for makeup concealer. Specifically, like if you are struggling with dark circles underneath the eyes. All right. Now, I know I'm going to get asked the question, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I am loving this eyeshadow palette. I've been using it like every single day. This is my Valentine's Day eye makeup look. Isn't that gorgeous? If you need the link to it, make sure that you comment I and I can send it to you, but it's also down in the description for this palette. And I've also done a couple of tutorial videos as well. If you need the link to that, just comment I and I can send all of that information to you. Before I get started, just friendly reminder, if you haven't taken your collagen, now's a good time to do so. As we get older, our body produces less collagen on its own, so we need to supplement that. What that does is it helps to minimize the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, helps brighten up the skin, helps with the texture of the skin, and with your hair and nails. All right, so I take my Unique Liquid Collagen every single day. Like I said, if you need the link, comment collagen. And the last thing I want to share with you is if you are still looking for a planner for 2024, I have your back. After spending years using different planners and not finding one that I really liked, I decided to make my own. I have it available over on Amazon. So I have a link in the description to my Amazon storefront. I have 2 versions right now. I have one that runs January through December, and I have another one that runs February 2024 through January 2025. So if you need the link to shop a planner, make sure you comment plan and I can send that to you. All right, so let's get into concealer. There's a lot that goes into concealer, and especially as we get older with our fine lines and wrinkles, we want to just be really mindful with how we apply concealer. So the first thing that we want to talk about is making sure that you choose the right shade. All right, now depending on what you are trying to do with concealer, you may actually need a couple of different shades of concealer. So for example, if I have a blemish that I'm trying to cover, I'm going to use the same shade concealer as my foundation versus if I want to kind of lighten up an area, I might use a shade lighter than my foundation. And if you have dark circles that you're trying to kind of cover up, look for a concealer that has a pink undertone. So when I have like dark circles, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, I use the shade Organza. Now, this is a couple of shades lighter, but it does have that pink undertone. So that's what I use for my concealer when I'm really struggling with dark circles. But today I just want to kind of lighten up underneath the eye area. So I'm going to be using the Unique Skin Solution Concealer in the shade Velour. I had somebody the other day tell me, wow, I just absolutely love this concealer and I'm so happy about that. I'm going to share with you some of my favorite concealer tips. So the first one is make sure you choose the right shade. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have prepped the skin. So not only have you washed your face, you've applied your serum, you've applied your moisturizer, but you also want to use a primer, all right? So you can use I already went ahead and I applied my illuminating primer all over my face. That's why my face looks so glowy, right? It's because that amazing illuminating primer. Not only is this going to help fill in fine lines and wrinkles, it's going to help hold my makeup in place, and it's also going to brighten up the skin. I love my illuminating primer. But if you struggle with really fine lines and wrinkles under the eye, you can also go in with a little bit of your eye primer. All right. So this is going to just help with that under eye area. You can just tap that right underneath the eyes. I recommend using your ring finger. It's going to apply the least amount of pressure to that skin. And that skin around the eye is really thin and fragile. So you want to be really gentle with that. For best results, you want to let that primer set for about 5 minutes or so. All right. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to choose the right shade. Then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you prep the skin. The next thing is we're going to talk about tools. Now, you all know I'm a big fan of brushes, but when I'm applying concealer, I like to use a sponge. All right. So I like to use this blending bud, the Beauty Blender. If you need the link to the Beauty Blender, like the name brand Beauty Blender, make sure you comment blend. Mine is damp. It's not sopping wet. And I know it looks a little bit dirty, but it is actually clean. So make sure you clean your sponges just like you clean your brushes on a regular basis. And mine's damp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to tap and blend that concealer. All right. Now, typically, when I apply my BB cream, I do the BB cream first. I put it on the vast majority of my face. Then I go in with my concealer. But today I'm going to be using pressed powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do concealer first because that's a liquid. And then I'm going to go in with my powder. All right. So the order of products is important and something to kind of keep in mind. All right. So what we're going to do is I am going to take a little tiny bit of that Skin Solution concealer in the shade Velour. All right. You are not going to need a lot of product with this. I'm just going to wipe off any excess from the applicator, and I'm going to just very, very lightly apply it right in the inner corner and outer corner in kind of like a triangular shape. You don't want to go just right underneath the eye to show that you're concealing something. You do want a little bit more of like a triangular shape. Now, our concealer is very, very concealing. If you want to thin that out a little bit more, I recommend using a little bit of our eye cream. This has caffeine and vitamin E and all kinds of amazing nourishing ingredients that are going to help really reduce puffiness and help tighten and brighten up the under eye area. I use mine on a daily basis. I absolutely love it. And so I'm going to mix those two together as I tap with that blending bud. And you can see I'm going all underneath the eye area. I'm bringing it down a little bit. And I'm just tap, 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 tap. All right. So you want to tap that concealer into place underneath the eye or wherever it is that you're applying the concealer, and just press, 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 press. Less is more, you all, when it comes to concealer. You don't want it to gather in those fine lines and wrinkles. So you just want to tap that concealer in place. All right. Then before I do anything else, I'm going to set it. All right. So I'm going to use my setting powder. This is the Prime and Set powder. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and I'm going to tap that underneath the eyes. And that's going to help hold that concealer and it's going to help prevent it from settling into those fine lines and wrinkles. You want to use that Prime and Set powder as soon as you get done applying that concealer because this is going to help prevent it from settling into those fine lines and wrinkles. A little bit's going to go a really long way. And the other thing is you're not going to have to worry about the powder settling into your fine lines and wrinkles because it is finely milled. All right. But now you can see I have a really nice smooth under eye, bright under eye area. And I can go in with a little bit of my pressed powder around the area. I'm not going to apply it on top to get the most from my concealer. Excuse me. So there you have it. Step 1, choose the right shade. Number 2, prep your skin. Number 3, make sure you use the right tools. Apply kind of like in a triangular shape for dark circles. This helps to conceal overall that area, brighten up that area versus just trying to show that you're covering up dark circles. Make sure that you set it with powder. All right. So there you have it. If you have any questions about my concealer tips and tricks, don't hesitate to ask. If you like these types of videos where I go in detail and show you some tips for a specific product, let me know that in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so that way anytime I go live, you are notified. Have a great day.